two topics.
You got two topics. What are we talking about, bro?
Louis, I got two big topics that I want your input on.
Yeah, tell
So
me. What's
first
going
of
on?
all, have a big, camera and a mic because they were talking trash about it, and
Oh,
also
so
they
many.
started talk
I
trash about
swear.
my yeah about my English also. So I will try to talk slower so I can pronunciation and enunciate better. So
Okay.
I don't know if you have heard Canelo speak English.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
They
It's the
they
same.
told me I speak like him, so I took it into a personal opinion. So I will talk slower, and also I need to understand more. Don't stutter. So let's get it, man.
That's
And the
great.
first thing that I want to talk with you, I have been having a conversation with my roommate and also with other people.
Yeah,
And with this, I'm an AI guy, fitness guy, and this algorithm type of thing that we are living right now,
yeah,
that we live on our own world. So I think that everybody knows AI. I think everybody knows fitness,
yeah.
and like my day to day is based on AI and fitness. One or two things. Like I'm on a computer or I'm doing exercises. So in this aspect of your life also, that you are like a money guy, a business guy, how do you change your switch between being with people who know this and people who don't know this? How do you educate people about this? Because in my case, when I try to teach I have to go to the main like basic things and something they can relate to. And I think that things go uh, into hand with our coaching services. Like, what's your approach to make someone immersed to your world that has
Mhm.
nothing to do with?
That's a great question. I swear. So I have two frameworks which I usually use. Um, Number one is start with the small finger first, we say, and then give them a finger every time he asks for more information. This is a this is an example for talking about complex topics, because if you talk about, let's say, a discounted cash flow model, that's basically a financial valuation method. Okay, so this is for cash flows in the future. Basically, I will not start with showing the rando or showing a client, whoever, the fucking analysis, which I do every day. I will start by explaining what that actually is and what the value of that is, because why would he even listen, right? So, like I just told you, it's a cash flow model, and cash flows are very important because, well, if you don't have liquidity on a monthly basis, what are you doing? You're getting broke, bro. So that's basically the main point. And then I will go deeper and dig deeper into this. And the second one, which I usually do, is in German we say Merkmal, Vorteil, Nutzen, which is like basic indications, like why it benefits and why does it matter to me, basically. So those 3 points in this order. And with this framework, you can describe everything. Like if I take my mouse, I can say, oh my god, you don't even see it. I can say, yeah, this is basically a tool to use for the computer. Like I'm describing it. The benefit of that is that I don't need to like use my hand on the touchpad, and it's way faster. And I specifically have that because for me it's just more comfortable, and I will get more shit done with this. And this is a framework which you can use on everything which you want to explain, because people will directly get what you mean. Okay. What's your opinion on this though?
Like, it's also similar about focusing in the basic thing, and also I like to have like quick wins
Hmm.
on both things. In coaching, I like to start every program that I start with a week zero. I always advertise my programs as 8 to 10 week programs, but I
Hmm.
take into consideration week zero. And week zero is like an exploration phase. And let's do something. Let's do let's do everything that I think that you can do, because I do my assessment before and like explain things. And I give them three key concepts so they can learn from these workouts. And
Cool.
we adapt quick. If we seeing the first week that we didn't like something or we couldn't do something, like more about like personal taste, not about that they can move their body because that's my job.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
if they don't like something, we can adapt quickly, and I have feedback soon. And quick wins, we start with small efforts
Yeah.
to to hard. Like
Yeah.
I won't take a beginner guy and take him to failure on the first set. I need to get him like first. They need to get to the gym.
I get
Then
that.
1 week or two, I can start talking about supplements. Then I start talking about nutrition, like
Yeah.
getting a nutrition coach or something like that. Like plugging new things that are like compounding on it. Because if I give them the whole thing at once,
Mhm.
they will get overwhelmed and they won't keep up with the program. So that's one
Exactly.
thing. Quick wins that also applies with AI. Let's do with the most advanced tool we have. Let's do something right on it. Send an email that took you 5 minutes every day. You will send it automatically. Okay, basic email. It looks good. Boom, you send it. Okay, they're
Yeah.
feeling comfortable. They're getting like, okay, what more can I do? No,
Yeah.
get them excited, and that's the one of the main points. Quick wins and learning the basics. That's like my topic on it.
That's cool. I saw some similarities because we both do the basic things first, and it's important because like if you're long in the industry like us, we will forget where we started, and that makes it too difficult for people to understand. If we talk with each other, right? Because I know a bit of fitness myself, so we can talk at a certain level, but maybe not a beginner level, also, maybe not an expert level. So it's important to have this. What
But
I also think,
let me drop you a bomb over there that
oh
it's
yeah, hey,
important for
please.
me to. It's not a bomb. Is let me drop you like a, let me tell you something that is important to know in every aspect of growth.
Okay.
The thing that you are doing at your level, at your point in life, is
Yeah.
not the thing that took you over there. So if you're not in the same point as the person you're looking to, instead of doing what he is doing right now that he's here, do what he was doing over here, but better. You know, for example, if you're starting to build your emergency fund, you won't do the same that right now that you are doing right now on your emergency fund because you have already a fund over there, and maybe you are like getting to grow because your income and your spending is growing. But
Uh-huh.
you didn't do that when you started. The
Yeah.
first thing you do with emergency fund was like, man, let's invest or let's save $10, man. I don't know, let's invest $15. Like
Mhm.
there was no system. There was do whatever you can do and start for the first part, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
it's look admire people, look up to them, but know that not the thing that they are doing right now maybe don't work for you that you are starting on or in the intermediate level. Because a lot of people do like they try to get into AI doing an agent, doing a system workflow, SaaS or something like that on their first try, they won't get it. And
yeah.
also if they try to get jacked and get a six pack like Sibam has a lot of experience and a lot of things that he's done before that
Yeah.
you are trying to do right now that you're starting or intermediate. So know
Yeah.
your level and do accordingly.
I get that point. I need to discuss this point a bit more with you though, because in finance is a bit different actually. Because let's say for example bench pressing. Like if I have a guy who never bench pressed in his life, he cannot bench press 100 kg directly, of course.
Mm.
Um, but if you have a goal, for example, for I don't know, if you want to buy real estate, you cannot start step by step because it's the most inefficient thing you can do. Let's take an example. Let's imagine you want to build the house, right? You want to build the house and you want to uh, have it have it there as fast as possible. You will send workers, right? Those Mexican workers who will build your house for you. And it's better if you have a lot of workers at first, and they will get to know the construction site. They will build everything up. Then having workers after 4 years, for example, if your time frame is 5 years, you would like to have the workers starting the project directly and not in 4 years, right? Because in 1 year, it's very unlikely that they will finish. So in investments, actually, time in the market beats timing the market. So you should not start step by step, but rather have more money in the project and then look where it's going, which I think is the difference in those two areas.
But for okay, yeah, in business or in real estate, it's I think that's cool. But for example, in investment, if you try to invest like Warren Buffett, and you are a guy getting outside of college who has not much money,
Yeah,
the system that Warren Buffett has, it works because he already has like that buying power. But you
exactly.
told me about this, like the main thing you have to do is increase your income. Like is that the
Yeah,
best strategy when you don't have a
exactly.
lot of money? When you have a lot of money, you can do like small interest compound big enough. But when you're starting, you have to increase your income, and with fitness, increase your strength.
Uh-huh.
Like the small things that the guys on the top are doing, it won't help you because they already have the basics. And that's the thing that I was trying to sell you in the other quote that I told you.
Yeah,
But yeah, for sure, there's cases when you can advance it with money, and you know that money buys checkpoints.
that's true. That's true. So what would you say is like a main thing you should always do in fitness? Because you say, hey, the more strength you have, the easier it gets, the better it gets. So what do you mean by that?
And I think that strength training, like powerlifting, is not for everybody, but everybody should focus on strength on point, because that's the foundation of any sport you want. Sport, discipline, bodybuilding, something like that.
Yeah,
You need an strength foundation. So at any point of your lifting career or lifestyle, you should focus on strength. If you don't
okay.
like it that much, it doesn't matter. But everybody, you have seen all the hybrid athletes right now, they're trying to do high rocks and that type of stuff.
Yeah,
The most like popular hybrid athletes are jacked, and they
yeah,
didn't get jacked by being hybrid athletes. They get jacked by strength training, bodybuilding principles, and that kind of stuff. And then they went to be hybrid athletes, and they're very good at it because they have
yeah,
this strength foundation. So
yeah,
strength, nutrition, sleep, and knowing how to move your body. I won't say
I get,
mobility, flexibility, learning how to move your body. That's
I
the
get that.
the four pillars that I would say.
Okay, I will note that. I will call you after. Was there another point you want to discuss? What was the second one? The second topic is.
the I think it's a great value from your for our relationship that you taught me. One, savings. That was like one part of things. But one thing that I know you can elaborate, and I always tell this story like, oh, this German guy was trying to. I thought he was like bullying me, but he was only like telling his lifestyle. He's normal. Like I always told you that it was weird what your discipline with money, not because it was weird. It's because I didn't grow up talking about money, and I didn't grow up with this discipline that you have. And I think you can say your strategy about debit cards and credit cards, that you have a budget on it. That you told me that you have like 7 cards. I remember that story that you told me, like your system about spending and how you appeared cheap in Mexico, but you were only financially educated, so you didn't spend money at, like in substance.
That's funny. Hey, it's okay. First of all, I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment. Um, so what you're talking about is the account system I have, right? Like the different accounts I have. Okay. Yeah. So let's imagine you have one account, and from this account, all of your bills go away, like your rent, your electricity, you going to the club, buying tequila bottles, whatever. You're doing holidays. You will have no overview and no clarity about anything, because money will just go away. Money will come in and it will go away. So what's the problem behind this? Of course, you could track your expenses and how much is your income, right? But you will always just live in the moment. And this is something I saw in Mexico. Like people were living the moment, which is great. But what about after the moment, bro? What about after the moment? So if there's no money, people were still happy, which is also great, but like things will not improving so much. And a accounting system basically helps you with this. So you will have a system. You will have for example, 4 accounts. I will take 4 for simplification. You have a account where money comes in and all of your fixed expenses go out. So you get an overview. For example, if you have $2,000 income and your fixed expenses are 1,000, you will have 1,000 deducted from the main account, right? For rent and stuff like that. Then you have 3 other accounts which are separated in different priorities of your life. Number 1, fun. If you don't have fun doing all of that stuff, why even bother to do it, right? So you should have a percentage of the money which is left from the fixed expenses going into a fun account. Should have a savings account for emergency funds, for example, because, hey man, if your washing machine breaks, who's going to pay for that if there's no money left, right? Your mom and your dad, maybe. And that's not something you should strive for, man. And number 3 is investment. So, of course, investment means, hey, right now I'm purposely not looking at that money to have more later. And I don't really know if it's working or not. But you should invest to have a chance at it at least. We'll talk about it in another episode. And this is the account system which I always use. And yes, you said it in Exco, it seemed cheap, but I just had my money handled, bro.
Oh, and a part that you haven't talked about it is that why and how does it work in action? Because
Okay.
you will tell me like 50% for this part, percentage for
No,
this
wait.
part, for this part.
You tell me your experience with that. I think it's easier. It's better.
Yeah, like for example, I haven't followed it to the tip, but what I have been done is that I have cards for different things. Because you told me to not use credit cards, I won't do that because I love that I haven't made a single credit payment, not credit, interest rate payment.
Hmm?
Like in 4 years that 3 years that I've been using credit cards, I have only made one payment, and it wasn't because I didn't have the money. I just forgot about it because it was my birthday and the due date was on the 5th, and I went out on my birthday and I forgot about paying that, and they were like 2,000 pesos. It was nothing, but the interest rate is way high, and that 2,000 pesos amount to like 400 pesos. 400 pesos is like in percentages, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but if imagine that I would have in that 200,000 pesos, 40K, it's a lot. That's why in that single payment, I learned it, and I have never made another interest payment again. So, but what it really helped me about your stuff is budgeting, because I related with calories. And
Okay.
with budgeting, the main thing that you told me is, okay, you are budgeting for this part, for this part, for this part, but if you don't spend this amount of budget that you were destined to, say, like hangouts or going out, you had 200 pesos right now, and for
Yeah.
next month you have 200 pesos, but in the last month you didn't spend your 200 pesos. Now you have 400 pesos, and you can, maybe you didn't went out 1 month, but you can go on a premium experience next month because you have that money, and you don't feel like guilty about it, because the other budgeting parts are driving you throughout your goal, like going to your goal. And that was great. The part that you told me, that if you had a plan, you follow it, there's no way you don't achieve your goals. And
Yeah.
that part helped me a lot last year. And this year I've been getting better with it. But
Nice.
looking back and telling, like, okay, you planned this for this year, you did the things you were going to say, and you achieved it. It's like the best New Year resolution that you can have. Like, plan for it, execute it, train it. And it was great.
Yeah. And it feels amazing.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I remember when I did that. Like the first time I had real money coming in, like there was some months where I did like 10,000, 12,000 US dollars. And like me being happy at this moment, seeing, oh my God, so much money at once, was only part of the fun, because in the end of the day, I need to build savings of that. I need to pay other things of that. And if I just blew the money out, if I just blew 10K out, I would not be able to pay my other stuff. And bro, systems are so important, because if you have no system in this, you will just, man, go ahead and die, because you will rack up debt with the credit cards also.
No, and what about, have you seen the movie The Gambler about Mark Wahlberg?
Nah, is that good?
Who he has one of the best concepts on money that you can strive for, and the concept is fuck your money. So fuck your money is just, you have enough money saved that anything that happens that you are not like aligned with, that you don't want to do, you can tell people to go fuck themselves. Like, you have a boss that is like being really hard with you, like unfair. Like, it's, if it's being hard and you are not doing the job, okay, it's accountability, But if there's like a job that you hate, something you don't want to do, and you don't need the money that they are giving you to do that, you can do like, fuck you, I'm not doing this. You go out and you're good. You're good with your savings. You can live like some months ahead, and you have another options of cash flow that
Mhm.
you can tell anybody in any situation to go fuck themselves and do what they wanna, and do what you wanna do. And that's like my, if you can make it simple, what's my financial goal? That's my financial goal.
For sure. If you make it simple, you will also reach it, because you can always remember it, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
and that helped me a lot, because when I see my, at the beginning, when I see my savings, it was like, oh, I have that money, you know. And now I act like I don't have that money. I have two separate spreadsheets. Like,
Yeah.
one page is my savings, my emergency fund, and that's over there. And I have my money here, and that's my money that I really have, because at the start I spend it all. I had to learn it on the bad way. And what you say about emergencies, and you don't have to ask your mom and dad, it's great to something happen and that your world doesn't follow. Something happens, you didn't, I don't know, an extra $500, you have it over there. Like, it will hurt because you didn't want to spend that money in that, but your world doesn't end. Your day doesn't go to shit. You have money over there. You won't have to ask for something borrowed. You won't have to. I don't know if it's a health thing. You won't have to endure it. You will only take treatments and go ahead with your life. So, yeah, that emergency fund that is related to fucking money, it's like great for me. It makes me
Yeah.
feel like free when I wake up.
Man, that's great. That's also great to hear, because I gave you a little heads up in that. So it's nice to
Yeah.
see that it works.
No, for like context, this guy Louis and like another YouTubers that I some Omar Educación Financiera, they have told me like most of the things that I know about money, and I've been learning a lot with. But like getting, I think this concept is also like very important to know. I don't know if you have an experience like this, but in the psychology of money, the guy talks about how luck also has a big role on our lives. He talks about Bill Gates, that he was lucky enough to be a student in a school where there was a computer. Like, I remember the percentages of it, but I think it was one school in the state that had this computer, and he was
Oh
lucky
wow.
enough to be in that position, so he can learn about computers. So if Bill Gates was born in another other city, country, state, he won't be the guy he is right now. So
Mhm.
in that aspect of things, I think that when I met you, and the point that I was like finishing my masters, and you taught me about finances, was a great thing for me, because if you had taught me about finances before, I wouldn't care, because I didn't have any like cash flow. And if you have
Yeah.
telling me that later, it will be like, I have my own thing. I don't worry about you. I don't care what you are talking about. And I think
Yeah.
it was a sweet spot when you meet people. That also happened to me with my fitness career, because I got a really good coach at high school. He was focused on strengths, the basics, and he was very insightful. And then I started with his teachings. I went the right way, because you can go with a bad coach and you only follow his lead and you're going bad, 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 bad. But if you are like from the start, from the get go, um, at least on the good path, you will get in the long way, you will get to the point of it. So I think that your guidance at the start of my financial life, it was great to get a clear path.
Man, I appreciate it. That's very nice to hear.
I don't know
Man,
if you
and
have an
also,
experience about that, that you have a like a great teacher or something at school on your life, or it's just a German thing to be like cautious with money.
now I grew up like this. Like I was growing up in like a family who was struggling a lot, and that's something I learned from life experience, basically. And then after a while, I built a business out of that, basically. But it's something for
Nice.
another day. But I also want to
Yeah.
say you were an inspiration for my leg training, bro. Because the first time I saw this guy's legs, man, he has legs like a horse. It's crazy, bro. The first time I saw you lifted like your shorts a bit, right? And I saw like this big ass turmeric like muscle, like it's like a tumor, bro. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And that was your fucking leg muscle. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing for his legs? And we talked about that real quick, and I was like, oh my god, there's dimensions and levels to this shit, which I
Yeah,
didn't
sure.
even know. So this is something that inspired me also. Maybe I didn't even tell you that.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice to make an impact with my legs.
For sure, man. For sure. Hey, you should
Let's get
check his
everybody
legs
to hit
out.
legs. Let's get everybody to hit legs with that.
Hell yeah. Strength. Squats.
Yeah, squats, leg extensions, seated leg curl, RDLs. You'll be good.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, brother, I think that's it for the time, right?
Yeah, that's good. I don't know. Would you like to close it up? This part, like finishing points or something you have left to set?
Um, well, not really.
Not
Just
really.
listen to the podcast again. I think it's important to listen to some things which you find insightful again, because otherwise you forget it. And if you find something insightful, uh, use it directly. Like directly press on pause or whatever. Use your computer, use your phone, and directly use it. Because if you don't use it, it will just be for nothing, right?
Yeah. Don't just save it on your Instagram. I do that a lot. I do that a lot with a bunch of things, but
Yeah,
most things that I have acted upon it, it has been like that. Like I saw it, let's do it, and you can execute.
directly. Because if you say, yeah, I will do tomorrow, I will do it in 1 hour, you will not do it. Let's be honest. And then it will just be wasted time. And money comes back, but time does not.
Mm,
That
okay.
was the last sentence.
Okay, big man. I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Let's go. So I
Okay.
think that will be a wrap. Let's close